Okay, hello. We are back, and I'm still having a cold, but we'll manage. My voice is bust, but oh well. Could be worse. Could be worse. We are trying new graphic settings uh, because some professional streamers has advised that 1080 actually isn't that great of a quality, and when you look at those that don't stream on that settings, I tend to agree, and we don't play new games anyway, so the graphic isn't that important. Ah, fucking hell. Fuck's sake. Stop it! Thank you. Okay. So let's see how the quality is on this setting. So we are streaming with 1600 900 pixel settings uh, with a bitrate of 6000. And let's see if that has any good or bad. Yeah. So, low game. Okay. So first of all, let's go into the library.
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh.
Okay, we found a book. How lucky. Yummy. Ludwig.
Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Schahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years. A hunting accident? Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved. A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor. The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin.
Okay, so we learned two things. He is a bisexual and he is attracted to sensual, attractive personals. Interesting.
There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section. I'm not sure what other casebooks would be relevant.
Okay, let's exit. And let's get the hell out of here. Okay. Hello?
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Okay, exit. Go this way and to the post office.
There's no one there.
Guten Tag.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakimura. Ich habe etwas für Sie.
Dankeschön.
Oh, it's from Gabriel.
Ja, das ist vom Schattenjäger. Ja.
No, I think you... Gabriel is a working partner and... Never mind. Danke.
Bitte, brauchen Sie noch etwas?
Okay, let's get the hell out of here.
Danke.
Bitte.
Let's see what we have written to
Gracie, you decided to come over. That's great. Good and tag and all that. I'm sure you and Gertie are hitting it off. Thanks for finding the werewolf book. I'm not sure what it all means, but it might be useful. But Ludwig II, you know, I think you might have something there. Ubergrau says there are 2 places you should check out. Ludwig had a castle called New Swan something, and there's a museum about him here in chemistry. Something like that. I really think you should spend some time looking into it.
That sleepy bastard.
Don't worry. Things are going very smoothly this time around. I've tracked a suspect to a hunt club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure there's something going on with at least one of the others. Don't worry, though. I met a police detective named Liebe, so I have backup. I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does he think? I'm on vacation here?
Yes.
No address. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.
Okay.
Hello there, dear.
Hi, I'm Grace Nakamura from the castle. Am I interrupting?
Heavens, no.
Have a seat, Miss Nakamura.
Well, I might. For a moment.
Isn't this nice? We just finished our breakfast. Do you want something?
No thanks.
Good for you. I can never turn down food myself. Now you just tell us all about it, Sugar Pie.
You mentioned the other night that you were a demonologist. What is that exactly?
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds, honey. What Emma and I really do is to help protect people.
Protect them from what?
Well, do you believe in the devil, Miss Nakamura?
I believe in good and evil, if that helps.
Oh, but Satan and his demons are real, and they will attack the living. And most folks don't know what to do once they've been attacked. We try to help protect people.
How can you protect people from demons?
Best protection is faith in God, of course. But sometimes faith isn't enough. Sometimes we have to delve into the supernatural in order to protect others. Your Schottenjoggers are just the same.
We are? I mean, he is?
Of course. The warriors of light are rare these days, but they do exist all around the globe.
That's interesting. I just read about a group called Manos del Sol in Brazil. So the Ritters aren't the only Schottenjägers.
Well, they're probably the only ones to use that title, but others have been chosen for the battle.
Do you know anything about King Ludwig II?
Sure, we saw his castles, didn't we, Mother?
We sure did. Why do you ask?
Well, I found a letter in the Schottenjäger library warning Ludwig about the Black Wolf.
Who wrote the letter?
One of Gabriel's ancestors, a Schottenjäger.
Seems like whoever was using me as a megaphone helped you find that letter. Perhaps you should follow the path something's pointing at. Look into Ludwig.
I intend to. The other night you said something about the Black Wolf. What did you mean? Where did you hear that name?
I wasn't the one talking.
I don't understand.
Well, that's quite all right. The point is, it would be a very good idea to answer those questions, and we must work together to do so. Of course I'll help you, Pumpkin. I'd like to know myself, wouldn't I? It isn't every day one's taken over by a disembodied spirit, and I don't much care for it, thank you.
You're not talking about a seance, are you?
Oh, heavens, no.
Thank God.
Emma's right. I'm much better at tarot cards. I can read for you or for someone else if you prefer.
Are you sure you don't know anything about the Black Wolf?
I never did, dear. I told you. Really, you mustn't confuse the vessel with the voice. All I remember was seeing a very bright flash like lightning. Next thing I knew, Emma had me outside. Whatever it was very powerful. Very powerful.